Welcome, one and all, ladies and gentlemen, to the first ever installment of Thoughts from Red Hat. I am your host, Wyatt Brantley. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at the top 20 Democratic candidates. Say that 5 times fast. Basically, these are the 20 Democrats that participated in this recent Democratic debate that was on the 26th and 27th of June, hosted by NBC/MSNBC. Now, my first general impressions of the whole debate, and we'll get into each candidate as I put them on the list. So let me introduce you to the categories. So the top category, the main category, the one that you want to get into is JBPA. Just be president already. Look, screw the debating, screw the voting. I want you in office right now. You should be the president of the United States right now. Screw our systems. Next one being winners. These are candidates who came in when. So the way I'm looking at this, look, so they're at a certain position in the polls. If they increase, in my opinion, their numbers in the polls dramatically, then they're in the winners, and that's where and I see all that. Did an all right job again. If you're in the polls and you raise up and you got better, then yeah, you did an all right job. You did what you were supposed to do. Meh means you came in and you just kind of stayed where you're at. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Um, these are people who I thought were up in the polls, and then they had the debate, and it kind of hurt them a bit. So for those people, at least you tried Jimbo against guys who had no chance, or they had no chance and they still lost. Yeah. And then who even is this? These are people who are just like, I don't even really even knew you were running for the Democrats. You just there. So yeah, that's all the positions. Now, my general overview of the Democratic debate was it was just a hot mess. A lot of we've seen this shift in the Democratic Party. It used to be, like when we get into Bernie Sanders, I'll explain this a lot better. But it seems like there used to be the moderate Democrats that were popular in that. Bernie made the radical Democratic side popular, and of course, when you have people like when you have like ladies like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez who are perpetrating that narrative and saying that no, that narrative will work. And she's really young, she's pretty, and she just knows how to work social media well. So that's kind of what the Democratic Party has shifted to. And I would say a lot of I'm sorry, not a lot of these. Well, yeah, I would say almost all of them except for maybe like a handful. And I'm literally mean like a handful of people that aren't radical. Everyone's radical. So yeah, that's the thing. And we saw a lot of that when they said they were going after, they want to socialize all healthcare, and not just that, but take away private insurance, completely just disregard the private insurance company. 180 million people are on private health insurance, and you're just going to take that away from them and force them to use the government health care. That's a scary thing. Some were like, we'll do a good balance. We'll introduce the idea of a government ran social health care program, but also still allow the private health insurance to it, which I mean still isn't really that great of a thing. I get you want to have all that, and then it goes into the debate of is healthcare a human right, or sorry, a human right, the way that Bernie Sanders says it. So there's those debates, and then they also want to they want to make college education free. Of course, some of the more radical ones want to get rid of student debt completely. And I just think that that's not a good idea either, because someone's going to have to pay for those debts. The money just doesn't disappear. Someone's going to have to pay for it. If the students aren't paying for it, who's going to pay for it? The taxpayers are going to see our taxes increase. And also just attacking the Second Amendment, abortion. A lot of them saying there should be no limits on abortion. I'm saying a lot of these Democrats have just gone completely left. And I think it's now more time than ever that we as conservatives stay in the middle and be the more even even if on some things we aren't like smart about it or we don't know a lot about it, at least if we're more rational, then the other side will look better. So that's the way I see it. So yeah, but just overall, I'm kind of scared, a little scared, not really, just a little nervous about the Democratic Party, but enough chit chat. Let's get into our first, Bernie Sanders. And the first person we're going to talk about today is Bernie Sanders, surprisingly, actually. That's kind of random how, that. Because I decided how I'm going to talk about these people later. I'm not just picking on certain people for certain reasons. I just randomly say, I'm going to talk about this person. So, yeah. I apologize if, I don't talk about your favorite candidate right away. You have to maybe wait till the end. So, yeah. But we're going to start off with the man, Bernie Sanders. There he is. Look at him. He's playing Minecraft over here. Yeah. So for me, I'm just gonna look, Bernie Sanders. I'm disappointed in you, man. Look, and this is the reason why. It's not Bernie Sanders' fault, but he could have made himself look better. So remember how I said back in 2016, Bernie Sanders was seen as the radical candidate, and that's why everyone loved him. Yeah, Bernie Sanders isn't that radical candidate anymore. You literally have other people up there like, Elizabeth Warren's dipping her toes in, Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Beto O'Rourke, Amy Klobuchar, Cory Booker. Those are all just as radical as Bernie Sanders. Wanting the private health insurance to be demolished, wanting all that. So Bernie isn't a radical candidate anymore. Now, I feel bad for the Bernster. I think that, he could have done better. When they asked him about, well, how will you pay for the health insurance, when it hasn't worked in like other states, he goes, I'll tell you how we do it. Well, though, we'll get together and we'll make it better. We'll fight and we'll fight and we'll fight. But he didn't actually answer the question. So yeah, Bernie Sanders, I feel like you could have made yourself look good, but now that you're not the radical candidate anymore, you're not special. I think your true colors are being shown. So yeah, Tulsi Gabbard. So the next person on my list is someone I wasn't really familiar with, but now that I found out about them a lot more, she really kind of made me interested in her. So it's Tulsi Gabbard. Now, Tulsi, I'm gonna say meh on Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, she didn't wow me. I think that if she was given more time, she said things about, she served in Iraq and she doesn't think that going to war with Iran is a good idea. And she also said the war in Iraq was a bad thing. I think that she just seems like she ran on an honest platform, because the videos come out and said, she doesn't want to prosecute Trump for impeachment, which is a big no-no in the Democratic Party. And she wants to protect the rights of gun owners. So I do respect that, and I think there's debate saying, the reason why Tulsi Gabbard and even like Andrew Yang weren't given time to speak is because their ideas are actually good and more moderate compared to what the Democratic Party has come into. So I think they just didn't want them to speak. There's debates. I don't believe it. I don't know really. Maybe the Democratic Party is like, look, they're polling low. Who really cares what they have to say? That kind of deal. So I don't know. But yeah, I would say Tulsi Gabbard. If she were a top candidate, she would have my Joe Biden. So the third person we're talking about is Sleepy Joe Biden. Now, Joe Biden, I'm going to put him right next to Bernie Sanders. Joe Biden looks super slow. A lot of stuttering, a lot of bumbling, and all that stuff. He just doesn't look well coordinated. That being said, Joe Biden is the moderate candidate in this election, which is why he has 41% of all the Democrats who are 50 and above. 41% of those votes is a lot. Or sorry, I think it's 40 and above. He has like 41% of those votes. And no one else comes close to him. So yeah, Joe Biden is in the lead. He hurt himself in the polls a little bit, especially to the likes of Kamala Harris and Pete Buttigieg. And I would say even, Elizabeth Warren looked sort of good, all that. So he just didn't look like solid. Now, of course, there's other debates going up. We still have one that's coming up on the 30th and 31st of July that might swing in favor of Joe Biden. I don't know. So yeah, hopefully we see more out of good old John Delaney. So the next person is John Delaney, and now I'm not gonna lie, I thought this is apparently John Delaney. Who even is this guy? Now I originally thought this was Jay Inslee. I don't even know who Jay Inslee is. Like this is how like some of them just didn't really stick out to me, and I'm not really gonna talk about them for long. Um, but yeah, he just didn't stick out to me. He's pretty much just like everyone else. One same policy, he's just not as popular. So John Delaney, you're gonna be in the who even is this category. 1024 of Pocahontas. So the next person on my list is our lovable friend, 1/124th of 1,000th of Pocahontas. I don't even know, Elizabeth Warren. Now I'm gonna put Elizabeth Warren, and she did an all right job. Now Elizabeth Warren was on the first night. And, of course, she's third in the polls behind Bernie and Joe. So she came out and she was on fire. She was going after everyone. Like, no one really wanted to touch her. No one really wanted to attack her. Kind of like what they did with Joe Biden. Maybe because she was, like, third place, whatever. But she was the leading Democrat in that debate square. So you would think she would have been a target, but no one really touched her. And she looked really good. Then as time went on, she just kind of slowed down a little bit on the process. But Elizabeth Warren did an all right job. She really kind of owned the space. She, really, like, she talked about a lot of things. She talked about, again, like everyone else did. And then what she really lost me, I was really dumbfounded by her, was when she said something about the gun violence in this country is that of a public health emergency. And I was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So yeah, I think she did an alright job. Tim Ryan guy. Next on our list is Tim Ryan. Now, Tim Ryan, again, is one of those guys. Who even is this guy? He's a congressman from Ohio. Didn't really surprise me. Oh, no. No. I'll change it. I will say at least you tried. Because there was one thing that Tim Ryan said that I did agree with. And it was about gun violence. I do remember that very specifically. He said something about we need to focus on the mental health of the kids. We don't need to be focusing on the guns, so to say. We also need to be focusing on the mental health of the kids. So he wants to take away your guns, but at least he's focusing on the mental health aspect, which I think is the right approach. Because guns are just a tool that people use to kill people. It's not, the guns don't have any sentience, and they don't go around just sprout legs and go and start shooting people. Like, guns have a purpose. Their purpose is, we can have an argument if the purpose is to kill or not. I would say that it's one of its purposes, but I would say it might be considered its main purpose is to kill. But its main purpose is to do harm. Like, you can also shoot targets and stuff with it, so we can get into that kind of debate. But I don't think restricting guns is going to even do this. So, for that reason alone, at least you tried, Jimbo. At least you tried to make me like you. But other than that, I mean, you're still kind of like, you're just not. Julian Castro. So next on my list is Julian Castro. And Julian Castro, at least you tried, Jimbo. Julian was the former Homeland Security advisor. He's running for president. He's the only one of the actual four minorities on that stage. Everyone else is white, which is crazy to me. They're a party of, I don't know if Tulsi, I think she might be, she's from Hawaii. I don't know if she's that. I do apologize if I did get that wrong. But, Kamala Harris, Andrew Yang, Julian Castro, and Cory Booker are the only minorities on that stage. Everyone else is white, and which is funny because the left really wants to perpetrate like, oh, we're against white people. We don't want white people in power, yet they're voting on white people to get in power. It's really funny. It's really ironic, all that stuff. But Julian Castro, what really, really made me not like him, and it's not that I don't like him. Julian Castro said that men can get pregnant and that men should be allowed to have abortions. My guy, you lost me there when I said that. I am so sorry. You just did not stick out to me. You made yourself look even bad. So at least you tried, Jimbo. Pete Buttigieg. Oh, what's that? Oh, I'm sorry. Buttigieg. My bad. Pete Buttigieg. So next up on my list is Pete Buttigieg. Now, Pete Buttigieg was a winner to me. Pete Buttigieg came out. He looked solid. Um, a lot of people were in support of Pete Buttigieg. He did get attacked a little bit by Eric Swalwell and all that stuff, but I mean, other than that, he just looked like really solid. He did say something about Christians that I didn't really agree with. Um, but other than that, he looked solid, and yeah, we could see why he's becoming a really popular candidate in the Democratic Party. He's a mayor from South Bend, Indiana, and yet he's fourth in the Democratic polls. So it's crazy to me. Kamala Harris. Next up is Kamala Harris. Now, I will have to say, let me put Kamala. Kamala is a definite winner as well. So we got two winners so far, which is funny that they're back to back. But Kamala Harris, she absolutely like owned the stage on Thursday night. I think 27th. Yeah, that should have been a Thursday. She again killed it on the debate stage. Now, again, her ideas are crazy, but the way she went after Joe Biden and the way she kind of had everyone just clapping for her, it made her seem important. And she kind of put Joe Biden in a point where, like, oh, you're racist, and then they might run together in 2020 and to try to beat Trump. I don't think that's the case. I don't know. But yeah, Kamala Harris, I think, is a dangerous candidate. She definitely looks strong. All that. No one really likes her outside of that, but I mean, she does seem strong, and then she did look really good in this debate. I will admit that. Yeah, Kamala Harris, doing the job. Kristen Gillibrand. So the next lady on my list is Kristen Gillibrand. And Kristen Gillibrand did an all right job, girl. Now I say Kristen Gillibrand is really pretty. Just want to throw out there, she's really pretty. But yeah, her whole shtick is that she will never fight, and she'll never stop fighting for women's health, reproductive rights. And she's just a crazy abortion lady. So, but I mean, she did look good, I guess. She in that second debate, she held her own. She was over there, pointing out her statements, making herself do what she does, and she made herself stand out. That's all that matters. I think a lot of times in those first debates, it's not really about owning your opponent unless you're a top candidate like Kamala Harris is or Bernie Sanders, which is why I'm really more disappointed in Bernie Sanders, because he was the guy, and he should have gone after more people and tried to expose more people. But the thing is, no one likes that anymore. So, but Kristen Gillibrand, of course, she's on the bubble. She's right in the middle. And, yeah, so I think that this did a good job for her to boost her up in the polls. At least get people to talk about her. If you get people talking about you, you get people like, yeah, she's a threat. Watch out for her. Yeah, you might make some noise. So, Kristen Gillibrand, she did an all right job. But nothing special. Nothing that made me say, wow, look at Kristen Gillibrand. She just owned the stage. She's not a winner. She did an all right job. Amy Klobuchar. So next up on my list is another lady. She's a senator, I believe, from Minnesota, and it's Amy Klobuchar. Amy was just meh to me. She did say, things like, I want to get community college for free, and I said, okay, that's reasonable. And she wants to help aid students in their debt, not just get rid of it, which I was like, that's a reasonable stance on it. But after she said she wanted to get the universal health care, that's when I was like, yeah. So she did mess. She did all right. She didn't really do anything special. She didn't really, again, stand out that much to me besides the opening statement. Nothing really else stuck out from her. She just kind of drowned in with everyone else. Um, the way I kind of value this is, as a conservative, who stuck out to me, who made me remember them, who made me want to, either for the good or for the bad. And she just didn't really stick out to me all that much. So yeah, that's why I think Kristen did a little bit better, maybe because, again, I think she's more pretty. I don't know. That might be a little sexist, but but I mean, I guess she just stuck out more to me for maybe wrong reasons. But yeah, but Amy Klobuchar again, ah, Robert Francis O'Rourke, or his alias Beto O'Rourke. Oh man, where do I start with this? So Beto O'Rourke, look, just disappointing, man. Look, I'm kind of upset about Beto. Not really. I kind of expected it, but I didn't think he was gonna get hit that hard. Look, Beto O'Rourke came into this debate, and we all know Beto O'Rourke. He's loved by the young people. He went up there and he spoke Spanish. For God's sakes, I didn't even know what the guy was saying. He wants to appeal to the Latino community and the illegal community so bad. And like, he was up there, he give an answer, he was saying in Spanish, like, dude, I have no idea what you're saying. I don't speak Spanish. Most of Americans don't speak Spanish. You have to resonate your opinion with a lot of other people too. Cory Booker did it a little bit better. He spoke in Spanish and then said his point in English, which I think got for me at least, a little bit more brownie points. But yeah, Beto O'Rourke just looks sluggish. When you have Bill de Blasio, and I'm saying Bill de Blasio, attacking you on things, yeah, that's when I know you kind of hit the bottom of the barrel. Beto O'Rourke never had a chance in Democratic debates. Jay Inslee. So next up on my list is Jay Inslee, and again, who even is this guy? Again, Jay Inslee is not one of those guys that really stuck out to me. He attacked Trump like everyone else did. I mean, kind of, basically everyone attacked Trump, really. They're like, Trump's a evil threat. If that's your biggest takeaway from this debate, is that you attack Trump, yeah, you're not special, guy. You're just kind of run of the mill. Spartacus. So next on my list is Cory Booker, and Cory Booker, he was meh. Cory Booker was meh. Again, similar. He's like everyone else. Spartacus, all that. I'm not gonna vote for Spartacus because of what he did against what he tried to do, allegedly. Try to be a hero during the Brett Kavanaugh debates. Made himself look like a total jackass. But yeah, he didn't really stand out to me. The only thing, he just kind of looked like everyone else. To me, he just kind of similar things with all that. But he did do something that Beto O'Rourke didn't do. Beto spoke his entire answer in Spanish, try to appeal to the Spanish community, where Cory Booker spoke in Spanish, then in English, so at least I knew what he was saying. But yeah, Cory Booker just doesn't look that interesting to me in that sense. Hey guys, post credit, myself here. Yeah, for some reason I kept wanting to call Eric Swalwell Tim. I have no idea why I called him Tim Swalwell. Just know his name is Eric. I do apologize about that. And yeah, on with the video. Tim Swalwell. So next on my list is Tim Swalwell. I'm gonna put him right here. I was gonna put him in the meh category because he did wear the orange ribbon, saying that gun violence is gonna be his biggest thing, and he did attack Pete Buttigieg about it. But he just kind of looks corny. He's just a corny guy to me. He's going after Joe Biden, and saying like, oh, he needs to pass the torch. You need to pass the torch. He's kind of a corny guy. I don't know. I don't like him. He's a guy out of California. He just seems really corny. He seems like a frat bro that kind of stumbled into politics, and now is kind of stuck with it. Yeah, he just seems really corny to me. I don't really like him. All that kind of stuff. So yeah, at least you try, Jumbo. Yang gang. So next up on my list is Andrew Yang. My bad. Um, I don't really know where to put Andrew Yang because I like the guy, but yeah, I'm gonna put him in the meh category. Oh, there's reports coming out saying he got cheated out. He only spoke for like on total, I think like 3 or 4 minutes, compared to like everyone else who got way more than that. I think even Kamala Harris on like the moderator said, "Oh, you have like 30 seconds." I swear she spoke for like 2 minutes. So yeah, and they didn't even say anything to her. But Andrew Yang again is one of those guys I do respect and do like. He wants to give $1,000 to everybody a month and says that's going to revitalize the economy because they're not taxing Amazon, and if we tax Amazon, we'll get like $800 billion in revenue. So I'm really interested in the guy, but I wish they were giving him more time to speak. Hopefully he won't get cut in the second debate, and hopefully he'll have time to speak because I really do like Andrew Yang. So yeah, but I think Andrew Yang, if given more time, he probably would look better. But even just in the short time he was given, he did look at least knowledgeable until he raised his hand. He would help out illegals with health insurance, but that's besides the point. Michael Bennett. So coming in next is Michael Bennett. He's a representative from Colorado. Who even is this guy? Listen, Michael Bennett again didn't really stick out to me. He didn't wow me with anything. He just kind of looked neutral, kind of just looked like everyone else, in my opinion. Plus, he has kind of a baby face. I don't know. He just looks like he just was born 5 days ago. I don't know. But yeah, again, Michael Bennett didn't look that impressive. John Hickenlooper. So coming in next is actually the governor of Colorado, John Hickenlooper. And once again, who even is this guy? Again, he just didn't stick out to me. He was kind of, again, same way with Michael Bennett, just said everything else everyone else was saying, and just didn't really stick out to me all that much. So yeah, John Hickenlooper, who even is this guy? Marianne Williamson. So coming in at number 19, so lovely Marianne Williamson. Look, guys. She should just be, look, Marianne Williamson needs to just be the president of the United States. Sorry, look. She came in and she's like, we're going to fight against the food policies. We're going to fight against everything. And then she said, well, how are you going to beat Donald Trump? And she goes, we're going to beat him with love. I'm telling you guys, if you guys are looking at Marianne Williamson and thinking, oh, I watch out for Marianne Williamson. She's going to be a threat. Being all serious. But yeah, she's the obvious candidate. If you don't vote for Marianne Williamson, what's wrong with you? What the hell is your problem? Marianne Williamson is going to be the 2020 president of the United States of America. Marianne Williamson for president. Bill de Blasio. The last up on my list is Bill de Blasio. Least you tried, guy. Yeah. You again, you're a failure of a mayor in New York City. No one's really gonna vote for you. And plus the fact that you were in Miami, Florida, and you quoted Che Guevara. So yeah. But at least you tried. So there you have it, guys. All 20 Democrats put in the tier maker. Now, I want to say, if it hasn't been obvious, that this is just a joke video. These are just, again, my first impressions of these guys. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching.